Rise from your slumber and break off your chains. Herald redemption and proclaim the King. Who sees returning and the whole world will see. Watchmen sing. Hear ye the shepherd's voice. Pray, brethren, pray. Would you as I rejoice? Pray, brethren, pray. Sing chords for constant fear. The weak need our strong one near. Long as you struggle here, pray, brethren, pray. Wake up, O Zion, be clothed in your strength. Rise from your slumber and break off your chains. Herald redemption and proclaim the King. That he is returning and the whole world will see. Watchmen sing. Watchmen sing. Watchmen sing.
Good morning. It is Sunday morning, and so I won't be long. But yeah, like Brenda said, it's brunch time. Do you got your mimosa out, Brenda? Pour me one too. Okay, I'm not really drinking mimosas. But I am going to talk to you guys and remind you that if you are not aware, I have raffles that are in the Discord channel, and they are fun because with just a few dollars you can win gold and silver. And there was some gold that was on the raffle recently, and I will put an invite for anyone who has not joined that would like to in the chat here. There you go. But also wanted to remind you guys that I had a really good question the other day. And somebody said, is this some kind of Ponzi scheme or pyramid thing that 7K Metals is doing over here? And I said, well, let's look at what a Ponzi scheme is. And a Ponzi scheme is a form or fraud that lures investors and pays profits to earlier investors, the earlier ones that come in, profits to the earlier investors, with funds from the newer investors, the more recent investors that come in. Sounds like a bank, kind of like you take your money into the bank, and while the earlier investors aren't making a bunch of money at a bank, it is fraudulent because the bank is the investor, the original investor that is profiting. So like, the first people that bring their money into the bank aren't the ones that are going to get profits, but the bankers are. So this scheme will lead victims to believe that profits are coming because the bank makes us think that the bank is the safest place to put our money and that they've got these college funds for your kids that are great to put your money in, and you get all this percentage of interest, and it's going to be really, really good by the time they're 30, 25, or 20, whatever. But the scheme leads the victims to believe that profits are coming from product sales or other means, and they remain unaware that other investors are the source of the funds. So nothing is being sold, products are not being made or sold to create a profit that will pay off investors. The reason I say banks are like this is because they promise these interest rates, these college funds, these retirement funds, 401ks promise this, IRAs promise this, and all you're doing is really just paying off their ability to get rich, paying off whoever's running the show the ability to get rich. So the Ponzi scheme can maintain the illusion of sustainable business as long as new investors contribute new funds, as long as people keep coming to banks and trusting the banks. As long as most of the investors do not demand full repayment, the banks do not have to hold any reserve. They have to hold 0% of your dollars anymore. That's how they're moving to the digital fully. They don't have to hold any dollars in the bank anymore. So as long as the investors do not demand full repayment and still believe in the non-existent assets they are purported to own. So in the way that this really applies to the bank is that if we were to all wake up like the whole country all at once and say the dollar is fraudulent, these banks and what the bankers, what they're doing to us is a Ponzi scheme, it would totally crash their system and they would be unable to continue it the way that they're doing so. And the bankers, like what happened with the Federal Reserve, would fall. That would all fall down. But it won't because people love their banks. In fact, to such an extent that they don't want to put their bank money into a sound money wallet because they don't want our non-Ponzi scheme business to have access to their Ponzi scheme business. And there's a lot of people like this. They feel this way. They're a little worried, which again, you don't have to attach your bank account. You can just send in a money order or a check or whatever. A check would have your routing number, I guess, but you could just send in a money order. And what this is, the for sound money, is the ability to have your dollars backed by gold and silver. And that's not a Ponzi scheme. So like if you wanted to buy gold or silver, you could go to the products page and you would say, okay, I'm going to buy this. I'm going to put this in my cart and I'm going to pay for it and it's going to get shipped to you. So the way it's not a Ponzi scheme is you're going to get your full repayment, right? You're exchanging dollars for gold. Once you order that, you're going to get it. It's going to come to you and you're going to have it in your hands. And so it's delivered. It is now delivered. And whereas this is saying that they cannot, once you demand delivery, you won't get it. This is what futures are like. The ETFs, you hear these people, like you go and listen to these debt repayment type of specialists. There's that one guy, I can't think of his name right now, but they'll tell you, put your money into 401ks, put your money into IRAs and ETFs. I've even heard them recommending that. An ETF is a future promise to pay on gold and silver, which they may or may not have. The difference here is that we don't have a future promise with this sound money wallet. Like, yeah, just put your dollars in here and we'll pay you the gold and silver. Don't worry. The promise is actually a real promise. It's not a future promise unless you want it to be in the future. So I have mine set in the vault. They have to go put this amount in the vault of gold and silver that I have in here. Even if I put in $50,000, they have to do that, which means they're selling fractionals. I can't find fractionals anywhere else. You can go to APMEX, you can go to SD Bullion, Scottsdale Mint, whatever, any of these, the Golden State Mint, and they're not selling fractionals. Fractionals are not happening right now, so we don't have fractionals. If you see a picture of fractionals, it's sold out. But we haven't had. Oh, here we go. We do have the combi bar for gold, but that's a little bit out of my price range. So for silver, I was able to afford it. I got one of the last combi bars they had. So fractionals aren't happening unless you want to buy into the Sound Money wallet. Well, then you say, well, what if I want it delivered? When you looking at this, it says when investors do demand what their full payment, well, you will get it because they're physically putting that amount into the vault that is backed by Lloyd's of London. I don't know. I forget the name. It is audited. Someone checks to make sure. Someone comes in and legally checks to make sure the gold and silver is in there, and is also secured by security with armed security. So we are not a Ponzi scheme, but just remember that your bank is. And with that, I will get some gold and silver into somebody's hands here. Sorry, gold. These are the gold backs. There's 5 of them. They're pure gold, and they are going to one of these people. We've got Justin who's back, and we're really glad to have you back, Justin. Appreciate you. We have Scott, and we have Rock Prime, and that's it. Justin bought a lot of spots because he's excited to be back. So, good luck to all of you, but Justin has a really good chance of winning this one. Let's see what happens. Here we go. Number 9. If it's not Justin, he might be sad. Oh, it's Rock Prime who only bought 1 spot. And that's how this goes. Sometimes you only win when you buy 1 spot. So congratulations to you, Rock Prime. And I'm glad that y'all joined me for this quick morning reminder of what the Ponzi scheme really is, that we are not one. And my greatest hope is that we would get more people to get in on this business before they feel like it's too late for themselves. It's never too late for anyone to join. But I'm always sad when somebody finally joins up and they say, I wish I wouldn't have waited. I really wish I wouldn't have waited. I should have done this back when you first told me about it. So let's get on people. Let's not beat them over the heads necessarily, but let's remind people this is where this is the business where you're going to be safe. This is the business where you can earn income, and you're going to get gold and silver in your hands. Even if you decide to never work it as a business, you're still going to have gold and silver. You're still going to be taken care of. So, Anthony, since Doc Michael invited you, he'll send you a link. I suggest you get started today. Don't wait. There's no reason to wait. Is it possible to have your monthly coin can go into a different vault? So I think, let me see if I can find it. Now I'm on the spot. Ugh. You could have if you're doing the monthly coin, you're eligible for your own personal private vault. Let's see if I can find it. I don't know where to find it, but I can tell you that if you're on the autosaver, so like this, what do I have that set for? So if you're on the autosaver, it can go into, you can have them, if you do the chat option and say, okay, I'm going to chat with these people, and I'm going to say, okay, I want my autosaver to go into my own personal vault. That actually will have your name on it. The Sound Money wallet is a general vault, so you don't really want your autosaver to go in there, but for free you can have your autosaver go into a personal vault that they have your name on it, and they will hold it there for you, so that if you don't want to have them shipped to your house, you can wait and either go pick them up in Idaho Falls or have them shipped someday in the future. And those will just be set aside as if you had them in your own little safe at home. So definitely, Karen, you get a free vault usage with your name on it for your autosaver. But for the Sound Money, it's all just put in together. So like they don't have a pile that goes, this is Aaron's $2,800 in gold and silver, and this is Doc Michael's amount in silver. It just all goes in there. And they can see, and I can see because I can keep tabs on this. This is how much I have in there, and when I cash out, I know that's what I want to get. I want to have 56, 57 ounces about, or 7/10 of an ounce in gold. So that makes sense. I hope it does, but you'll basically you'll be saving your own skin if you just get in on this sooner than later. I wouldn't wait. I would get going and yep, talk to Doc Michael if he's the one that sent you here. He'll give you the link. Otherwise, if you guys are already in the business and you want help, we can all help each other talk to people. So anyone else who wants to have somebody talk to their friend or their family member, I'm happy to do that. Doc Michael's happy to do that. We have other people in the company that are really they're just smooth talking. I mean, when I say smooth, they've just been talking about it for so long. They know how to talk about it better than anybody. And I am not, as you can tell, I make a lot of mistakes and say ums and ahs and everything like that. But there are some experts in the company that have just been doing this for so long, home-based businesses and gold and silver for so long. They just know how to explain it really, really well, where there really wouldn't be any questions. And there's no reason you shouldn't join. It's gold and silver. You can earn income. And it's your bank that's the Ponzi scheme. It's the government and the income tax, the illegal income tax that's the Ponzi scheme. And let's get out from under the thumb of all that today. All right. With that, I'm out of here, guys. I love you. Peace and love of the Lord. Have a wonderful Sunday. I meant to say, and I muted myself. Have a good rest and be grateful today. Peace.